What's good, everyone? I'm Brian Sampson from Dunking with Wolves, and welcome to the newly branded Timberwolves Film Room. Today, I'm coming at you with a video breakdown about the Minnesota Timberwolves pick and roll defense. When it comes to pick and roll defense, Minnesota isn't a bad team, nor are they a good team. According to NBA.com, they currently rank 14th in the NBA by allowing 0.83 points per possession to the ball handler and 18th by allowing 1.09 points per possession to the roll man. There are typically two main types of ways to defend ball screens: to fight through them and stick on your assigned man, or to switch the screen altogether. Now, there are definitely different variations of defenses within those categories, such as hard hedging, drop coverage, etc., but we won't get into all that today. Instead, we'll simply focus on fighting through and switching. Let's begin by looking at how Minnesota does when they fight through screens, and this is as gorgeous as it gets. Just a great possession all around. As Isaiah Thomas brings the ball up the floor, Tyus Jones picks him up almost immediately after he crosses half court. He starts out by shading him a bit to his left hand, but as a big man creeps up for the pick, Taj Gibson is yelling out the coverage, which forces Jones to heavily shade Thomas toward the baseline. This is the Timberwolves' ice coverage. The big man then sets the ball screen parallel to the baseline, allowing Thomas to attack toward the three-point line. As Jones fights under the screen, Gibson is tasked with slowing down Thomas until Jones recovers, and he does a great job of doing just that and then recovering to his own man. Now, when we run it back again, there's more going on off the ball than we knew. Once the ball screen is being set, Crawford hops off his man and toward the middle so he can be in good position to tag the Lakers' rolling big man and deter a pass down the lane. After the screen, you can even see Crawford anticipating the ball is going to number 40, but instead it skipped to Crawford's man and he has to do a good job of closing out to prevent the shot and the drive. While Crawford is helping, Zhang also took a step off his man and is in ready position to help if needed as well. Once the ball is skipped, Crawford and Zhang do a tremendous job of playing a little two-man defense and forcing the contested miss from the corner. Even Tom Thibodeau was smiling after that possession, and heck, why not? It truly takes a team effort, but one of the big advantages of playing this type of pick-and-roll defense is that it allows a stud defender like Jimmy Butler to stay on the opposing team's best offensive player and shut him down. When Minnesota's players are communicating effectively, this is their best type of defense. Gibson does a great job in this play of first talking with Butler and then talking with Jeff Teague to let them know what's coming. On the ball screen, Lopez is trying to set on Teague. You know Gibson is communicating because Teague immediately jumps out on Thomas and is forcing him to the baseline on the Timberwolves' ice coverage. Lopez then flips his screen, but Gibson is in great position and forces the ball handler to pick up his dribble, allowing Teague to recover, and then Gibson is able to recover because of that as well. However, when the players aren't communicating effectively, it can lead to easy, wide-open looks like this one, even though the shot drew air. Another downfall of this coverage comes when the ball defender gets caught up on the screen. If that happens, that puts a big man on an island, and it usually doesn't end well for the defensive team. Overall, Minnesota does a pretty nice job of defending in this type of coverage. It's on plays like these when they decide to switch that they get in trouble. I get it. Given the agile feet of Towns and Gibson, it can be tempting to switch screens and let your big man show off their skills. However, teams can game plan for that like the Houston Rockets did when they constantly ran high pick and rolls to get Butler off of guarding James Harden. In the Timberwolves scheme, Gibson and Butler usually are the two that switch most often, given Butler's ability to bang down low and Gibson's ability to sometimes contain perimeter players. Unfortunately, it often puts Gibson on an island where it looks as if he's playing hockey instead of basketball. That's not to say Minnesota's bigs can't stay in front of guards. Watch on this play as Bjelica stays in front of the guard and forces him to hit a tough shot around the rim. Even though the ball went in, that's great defense. This play does a great job of highlighting the weaknesses of switching ball screens. Robin Lopez sets a screen on Butler, which takes him out of the equation of guarding LaVine and forces Towns to switch onto LaVine. The Timberwolves do a great job of clogging the lane, and LaVine throws the ball back to the perimeter. Unfortunately, the Bulls do an even better job of finding the mismatch down low and feeding Lopez the ball right under the rim where he's too big and too strong for Butler. Even if Towns were to contain him, Levine had the right idea, as he was popping back to the perimeter after his pass to get another go at taking Towns off the bounce. Overall, it's important to implement both kinds of coverages as you don't want to be too predictable. They each bring their own pros and cons to the table and can be effective in certain situations. However, it's when they get too reliant on one type that it makes the Timberwolves that much easier to scheme for. Well, thank you for tuning in to the newly branded Timberwolves Film Room. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it if you give this video the old thumbs up and subscribe to the Timberwolves Film Room. Also, for all your Minnesota Timberwolves related material, you can follow me on Twitter at Brian Sampson NBA. Catch you next time, Wolves fans.